Hurricane Ian made landfall in the state of Florida 3 weeks ago today. So today is Wednesday, October 19th. Now, I made a video just after the storm just to describe what it was like to anticipate being hit by a hurricane, and then what it was like to prep for it, what it was like to go through it, and then some of the after effects. Now, at the end of that video, I touched on just a bit about what or how that hurricane might impact the real estate market here. And I don't want to go into the whole video itself, but I did touch on that just a bit. But since then, I have been bombarded with questions about that more specifically. How is it really going to impact the market? What are we seeing? Are prices going to go down? Are people going to be discouraged from buying here? Are there deals to be had? So in this video, I just want to address that all by itself. Now, that original video I made, I'm going to put a link to it in the description below. So if you want to see that, I've had some really good feedback on that one. I recommend that you check it out, but I'm just going to focus on that last point about how Hurricane Ian may impact the market here in the Sarasota Bradenton area. Hi, I'm Jill Thomas, and each week I bring videos about what it's like to live here in the Sunshine State, like being hit by a hurricane, what it's like more specifically here in the Sarasota Bradenton Venice area. And then of course I talk about real estate and I tie it all together. So if you've been thinking about making a move here, maybe you're already here and you need to make some adjustments with your real estate portfolio, then this might be a really good channel for you. So hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and then keep watching. But really what I appreciate is not only when people watch my videos, but then when you have questions, comments, thoughts, you need to pick somebody's brain, talk about it out loud, then please give me a call, text, or email me. I'm here to help you out, sort those things through, and answer all of your questions. So in the last 3 weeks since the storm hit, I have definitely been around between both Manatee and Sarasota counties, which is the market I cover. So Manatee, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Parrish, Palmetto, Ellington, and then Sarasota County, Sarasota, Nokomis, Osprey, Venice, and then Northport's the most farthest community or town in Sarasota County. Now, as you know, Hurricane Ian hit Fort Myers, which is much more significantly south of us. So as you can imagine, as we travel farther south, the more damage we're going to see. So it's not an unusual sight, especially you'll see more of it as we go south. And then I'm sure no doubt all the way down the west coast of Florida, whether it's just trees that have come down. So on the side of the roads, people have already been cutting up all those trees. There's big piles of branches and tree trunks, things like that. That's a common sight. Fences down, tarps on roofs, things like that. So there's a lot of that going on. And now we have a lot of traffic, tons and tons of traffic going on because we've got these wonderful people that have come from all over the state and all over the country to help us out. So we've got linemen, these gentlemen that work on the power lines. Well, so you'll see power trucks around everywhere to get the power up and running. Now in the Sarasota area, we're good to go. They got that cleaned up well within a week, but there's still areas farther south of us that still do not have electricity. And then of course we see vehicles that will help with cleaning up the tree debris. And so now there's these huge black trucks that go around with these cranes or these big scoopers that will pick it up to take it away. And so I actually was able to get a little video of that happening at my neighbor's house yesterday morning. So I'll show you that. But so there's these vehicles everywhere. And then the other thing that we have going on is because all these people who are here to help work and help serve the folks that have been really impacted by the storm, well, they've got to stay somewhere at nighttime. And of course, having a place to stay in these areas that were harder hit at a premium, because of course you've got the local residents that need a place to stay, whether it's in a hotel or some other type of rental property. So what happens is these folks that are from other areas have to stay in towns that are nearby where you can get housing. And so Sarasota is kind of one of those hot spots. So they stay the night here, and then every day they commute back and forth to the areas that they're going to be serving to help get them back on their feet. So we've got this added traffic. There's a lot more accidents right now. Just yesterday I was going north on Honoré and I was at a stoplight and a guy tried cutting through, a bunch of lanes and, T-boned another vehicle. So that crunching metal sound right now is definitely still ringing in my ears. So we're seeing a lot of that going on. Now, again, overall, our area specifically has been very blessed. There are more people impacted in Northport by it, but overall compared to other towns, we're doing well. So I just kind of want to give you a taste of what that's like at the moment. Also, just because I do get a lot of questions on that, and that does sort of fold into what we're going to talk about next with how the storm has impacted the real estate market. So what people are thinking is, okay, with the damage here, am I going to get a good deal somehow? Are people going to be afraid to move here because of the storms? And so people are sort of hoping and wishing that maybe that will settle things down here in terms of the prices. So that's what I want to cover with you. And then at the end, I want to give you a bonus tip or two if you are thinking about buying here, something to keep in mind in terms of putting things in perspective after a storm has come through the area. But in a nutshell, I'm just going to, lead with the headline. I'm not going to bury it. In a nutshell, I want to say that I do not believe that Hurricane Ian is going to have a drastic impact or even a significant impact on our real estate market here and the pricing and the demand. And here's why. Number one, people looking to move to Florida. Now, there's always folks who are always looking and thinking about moving here. And sometimes they have a very specific focus. They're laser focused on the area they want to go to. And sometimes they're sort of all over the place in terms of direction. And they're just sort of happy to find just kind of the right little fit, the right little corner of our world here that they might be happy in. So now that because Fort Myers has gotten really directly impacted by this, parts of Naples, even Port Charlotte, and everything in between, that may eliminate those areas as a consideration for people who have not come here yet. So as a result, Sarasota, which is the next largest town or city just north of all that, might be moving up that list of places to consider. Or maybe a lot of times people will come here and say, oh, okay, I'm thinking between Sarasota and Fort Myers or Sarasota and Naples. So now maybe those areas are off the list already and they're going to be more focused on the Sarasota area. So that is going to certainly keep our demand up as we move forward here in the future. Number two, now we have to talk about the people who currently live here in Florida, just not Sarasota, but here in Florida on the West Coast. Obviously, these folks have to live somewhere. So whether their house was completely destroyed or significantly destroyed or moderately destroyed, maybe they're going to have to move out. They need to find alternative housing. Maybe they need to move out for a while their home is being repaired. So there's a whole wide spectrum of things going on with some of these folks farther south. And so if it makes sense for them and with their job and everything else, they may be moving to another nearby town, which again, Sarasota could be on that list of a nearby town where they can either rent for a while if that's possible, or even purchase a home. So again, that demand for housing in this area is going to remain strong from the people that currently live here in the state of Florida. Number three, people's fear of hurricanes. Now, some people are thinking, okay, well, maybe with Sarasota getting a really close call, or just overall seeing the West Coast get hit like this, which is unusual. This is not a common thing for us. Maybe it will scare off some people from wanting to buy in the area. It's going to decrease the demand, so then it will impact the real estate market. But again, I don't see that happening. I'll be honest with you, during the storm on that Wednesday evening, and even the couple days after that, I had people reaching out to me telling me they want to buy here. In fact, I'd get an email that would say something like, hey, Jill, I hope you're doing okay during the hurricane. When it's over, I want to talk to you about buying there. So it could definitely discourage some folks from moving here. I can't say that it wouldn't change somebody's mind, but that's not the vibe that I'm getting right now. So I still see that demand in spite of the threat of being hit by a hurricane any year. Number four, this is kind of a catch-all, just in other news is what I'm going to call this topic, because really it's not directly hurricane related, but I think we certainly need to talk about it as we talk about the real estate market here, and that is interest rates going up. Honestly, I would see the real estate market impacted more by the increase in the interest rates more so than the storm. But at the same time, in our area, in the Sarasota Bradenton area, between these two counties, we'd still have a good number of cash buyers. Now, tomorrow, the statistics for the month of September are coming out for Sarasota and Manatee Counties. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, then please jump over and follow me on Facebook and Instagram, because each week we do a little infographic type thing about some of the statistics in regards to, our area right here specifically, just not like on a national level or a state level. So if that's kind of your thing, hop over and take a look at my Facebook and Instagram, and links to my other social media accounts are below in the description. But anyway, I say all that to say that those newer numbers will come out. So we'll see what the most recent happenings are here in terms of these cash buyers. But it's not unusual in our area to have 40 to 60% of our purchases be cash. Now, this isn't 60% across the board. It could be 60% of the condos in Manatee County or something like that. And then maybe single family homes in Sarasota County are 40% or 38%. So it's not just always 60% of our purchases are cash. I don't want to, give you false information or false perception on that, but I just say all that to say a good number of our purchases are cash. So as a result, yes, could the interest rate impact people's buying choices? Absolutely. Do I think it's going to clobber our area or really suppress our real estate market here? I don't think so. Now, another thing I want you to keep in mind too is the insurance. Because of the storm, that's going to definitely impact insurance rates around here in the whole state. And insurance was kind of a sticky issue before. It's going to probably get worse now because of so much damage. So that's the other thing I want you guys to keep in mind, as well as those insurance rates are probably going to go up. Okay, I do want to give you one bonus thought. If you are thinking about moving here anywhere to the West Coast, I would say even in the next few years, since the storm, there is something I've been hearing from listing agents, from buyers, from sellers, just depending on their perspective on things. And let me just say, emotions have definitely been running high since the storm when it comes to wrapping up real estate transactions, which understandably so. I am not putting down or poo-pooing somebody's emotions because it's definitely been an emotional roller coaster, no doubt. But especially for a professional, we got to stick to the facts. And that's what's driving me nuts is I will hear an agent say, well, this house withstood a Cat 4 hurricane, a Cat 5 hurricane. Well, I'm sorry, but in Sarasota County, we did not get hit by a Cat 4 or Cat 5 hurricane. Fort Myers did, but not Sarasota County. From what I understand, our wind speeds were up to 80 to maybe 100 miles per hour. 80 miles per hour is definitely a Cat 1 storm. Up to 100 is a Cat 2, and I don't think that 100 miles per hour was a constant thing for the 12 hours that we had the storm sitting on top of us. I think there were gusts up to 100 miles per hour. So if somebody tells you at some point, hey, this house is great because it withstood a Cat 4 or Cat 5 hurricane, that's an exaggeration. Yes, the state of Florida got hit by a Cat 4/Cat 5 hurricane, but not Sarasota County, definitely not Manatee County. So that's the one thing right now is just driving me batty because people will use that to kind of work what they want to work out. And I just don't care for that. Just stick to the facts. Let's tell the truth, and not exaggerate. And so anyhow, that's my 2 cents on that one. Okay, so now to wrap this up, I don't think prices are going to go down significantly at all, especially because of the storm. There's no indicators saying that right now. Now, is the market improving for buyers? Yeah, baby steps. We're certainly getting there. It's still a seller's market because there's still demand and the inventory has improved, but it's still not super awesome either for buyers. The nice thing with buyers right now is that you don't have to stand in line anymore to wait to see a house. You have the opportunity to sleep on it at night instead of like, okay, you saw the house. Now you've got to write an offer right now. Otherwise you're going to miss out. You can actually go see several homes that might or properties that might fit what you're looking for. So all those things are really nice for buyers right now. It's just nice that we don't have to bow and down to the sellers. We're not at their mercy anymore. Still a bit of a seller's market, but it's definitely improving for buyers. So if you're waiting for that big crash here, I just don't see that happening. There's no indicators of that. Again, unless there's something so crazy that happens that none of us anticipated. Of course, something could always happen and impact the real estate market, but right now there's nothing on the horizon that would indicate that. Now, of course, it's okay if you don't agree with me. That does not bother me at all. In fact, I encourage you, if you do disagree with me, put it in the comments below because maybe you're going to give me a fresh perspective on something that I didn't consider. So that doesn't bother me. Like, please, let's have a healthy conversation about it because that will really help people make up their own mind. And even if I don't agree with you, that's okay. Maybe somebody else will. And that's going to give them the peace of mind to decide, nope, I'm not going to make that move. I'm not going to buy there right now. So quite all right. Yeah, let's have a nice, healthy discussion, in the comments if you would like to. As always, if you want to discuss this with me further, if you have any other real estate questions about our area, then please reach out to me. I'm happy to have a conversation with you and help you out. Again, thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Have a great day.